How's it going?
Man, let me tell you about the week I've had. Non-stop. I think everyone's got their Christmas money and they're already ordering stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
Absolutely. I know that.
Me? I'm not one of them.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know why.
Guilty.
Are you seriously?
Kinda, yeah.
And your wife's not killing you?
No.
Or is she part of it?
Yeah, she's part of it.
Oh.
Nothing crazy, though. Just a couple things here and there.
Oh.
But, yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
Good times.
It's that time of year.
It truly is.
Yeah. Wait till, what is it, Cyber Monday?
Oh, dude.
Yeah. It's going to get real.
It's going to get nice. My paycheck's going to get fat.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a good way to look at it.
I think that's all you got.
It really is. The rest of it's going to suck.
I know, man. I feel for you a little bit.
I know.
Now, this is not the pin I had a little while.
Oh my God.
This is a different pin.
First, you're going to spend 35 minutes trying to get your camera angle just right.
Yeah. I got some shadows. I'm not the best light guy, honestly. I'm like, just soak me in light. Just
Seriously.
bathe me in it.
Seriously, if you guys could see this whole setup, he's got arms like flinging everywhere,
Yeah.
like 25,000 lights in here.
Right.
And I'm set up on a PA and an audio interface.
You're propped right now.
Yeah.
Well, that's not how we've always done it, but just for whatever reason, you're liking that these last couple shows.
It's working.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
we'll see what happens.
No complaints here.
No, but it's hilarious.
Yeah.
Because you're over here like, oh, I got to stretch this and get that right there. And I'm sitting there going, I've been ready.
Stop judging me.
All right.
Well, I've been holding on to this little tiny cup for a minute, so why don't we go ahead and get that going so we can move on.
All right.
So, happy Saturday, buddy.
Happy Saturday.
Woo! Yeah.
It's been a while since I've had you, Craig.
Yeah. So this is about music, right?
Yeah, I think, man, I don't know.
Woo, it's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That bottle has been tempting the shit. I got that bottle of Elijah Craig for him for his birthday in fucking June.
Yeah.
And there's been a snort or two taken out of it. And it just sits over there every single time we do a show or have band practice in here or anything. And I'm just like, we need to guzzle that shit down.
No. Savor it, baby.
Yeah, you savor it.
But it's quite delicious.
I want to get fucked up.
I mean, that's what you like to do. But that stuff is, I mean, that's Kentucky bourbon.
It's good.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since I've had it. And it kind of took me for a, like, oh, wait a minute.
We've been drinking the wife's whiskey, and she's got the apple crown and apple or peach and all the and it's good. I like it, but it's
good.
It hits a lot different.
Yeah.
Than just an old school bourbon.
And then when you go to this, you're like, where's my salted caramel at?
That tastes like I'm supposed to be a man.
Right. I don't like it.
Oh man. Well, and we talked about this on this episode. We're going to talk a little bit about how to be in a band on a budget. And I think a lot of listeners who are in bands, or especially the older ones, are going to know everything. They're going to, and everybody kind of finds their own way, feels their own way through it.
Yeah. When we were talking about this, and I've been blessed. I will say that with the bands that I've been in, we had all this stuff. You know what I mean? Like the really good amps, guitars, drums, all that stuff. So when you were like, hey, let's try to do this on a budget, I'm sitting there going, man, I wonder what that would look like. And I'm dangerous when I get around this kind of stuff because I don't really know a lot. I know some, but not a lot.
Well, I mean, you've been around it for a little, you know what? And you actually, you picked up saxophone.
Yeah.
for social intents.
For one song.
For like one song.
I bought a $350 saxophone. So right there should tell you, I'm all about quality. Just to play one song.
That thing sounded just fine to me.
I thought so, too.
I don't know the difference between a crap saxophone and a really good one, but that you played the notes. It sounded...
I'm sure that there's a huge difference.
Probably.
But do I know the difference? No.
Only saxophone people really know.
Right.
I mean...
I hope we don't piss off any saxophonists. You know what I mean? Sorry, Kenny G. I don't know much about your instrument.
Yeah, it's a cool instrument though, and it is. What's the fucking band that does the sax or like heavy metal stuff? What's that? What are they called? That's gonna bug me. I should have looked that up. I should have had that ready.
I know who you're talking about, but yeah, I don't know the name either.
All right, I'm gonna have to make a note here. Find the sax
metal band.
Sax metal. Yeah, I think they do covers and stuff. Yeah, we got to have that for the next episode. I'm going to read this tomorrow and go, find sax metal band. Is this an adventure? I got to stop drinking so much. I don't know what the fuck that means.
I mean, the notes probably do look ridiculous while we're doing this.
Oh, yeah, they always do.
So I can never imagine, going back the next day and being like, okay, I don't know why I'm trying to find umami McDonald's hamburgers. You know what I mean?
If I'm being honest, I rarely ever even look at the notes ever again. Once the show's over, then we go do our thing for several more hours usually. And there's just no making sense of anything. It's, piecing together the night half the time is hard enough work.
And that's the fun part.
Yeah, it is.
When you get this random text like, hey, why is there pink petals in my pocket? I don't know.
Yeah.
Like the ending of The Hangover, where all the pictures kind of piece everything together for him.
I think I saw that once. I saw that movie one time.
It was a really good analogy of, whenever you're real drunk or real just out there, I'll put it that way. And then you don't really realize what's been going on the whole night. Then you wake up the next day like, what the fuck happened? Yeah.
I do remember that part. I'm not real big into movies that take place over just 24 hours. Don't ask me why.
So you don't like 24?
No.
Oh, okay.
I don't.
Well.
Thanks,
guys. Good night.
There are some exceptions, but typically it's hard to pull off a good movie that the span of the movie is 24 hours, in my opinion. But, but yeah, I do think it's important because there are some listeners out there who are maybe younger.
Yeah. Or just getting into it.
Just getting into it. Like, what the hell are you doing? I think some of the more obvious ones, the first thing I'm going to say, especially if you're younger or whatever. Of course, we talked about Zounds before on here.
Yeah.
We don't get paid from Zounds. We have nothing.
But if you want to, by all means, I'll let you.
We'd be happy if they did pay us. That'd be really great. And we're not trying to be, 30, 40 people are going to see the show and be like, what the fuck Zounds? Or I already know about Zounds or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
But it's legit. It is people don't, I tell them about Zounds and they're nervous because it sounds too good to be true. And they're nervous that it's not a real thing and that they're going to get ripped off or they'll get their credit card information stolen or whatever it may be.
I've used them for solid 10 years now.
Oh yeah.
I know you bounce between them and Sweetwater.
Yeah.
Which Sweetwater's another good one.
Yeah, but you got to have an actual credit score to get a Sweetwater card.
And with Zounds, you don't, baby.
Nope, you don't have to. No credit check. They used to not, like, there's no interest, but it used to be even better. Back in the day, they didn't even charge, there wasn't even tax. So, like, you were supposed to pay your tax. And, of course, I did, but I've heard that most people just didn't do the, when they did their taxes, they just didn't fuck with it. But now I think they do charge tax.
Okay.
And they price match. So it's not like back in the, also back in the day.
Okay. So are we just running a commercial for Zounds?
Well, I think it's important. I think it's important for people to know this. And I do think that hopefully people trust us. So when I'm telling someone, if you want to start a band, don't let anything stop you. If you need a guitar, you need an amp, you need a drum set, PA system, I've bought all that shit.
DJ equipment.
Yeah.
They have.
Yeah,
They do have
they do.
everything.
It's a great site. Go check it out. It can really help you. But beyond that, fuck them. Who cares? You know, right? I mean,
Yeah, they're not paying us.
right. And I think some of the more simple ones we can talk about as far as gear goes, like what do you need to start a band? Like if you're wanting to play live shows. I've always been an Epiphone guy. I am a Gibson guy.
You are, and I'm a Gretsch boy.
Right.
But I recently got into that because before, for me, it's for guitars. I'll put it that way. For guitars, for me, it's always about the body style. Personally, I don't like the sharp edges. I like that well-rounded, like the Les Pauls.
Right.
And that body style. I love it. And maybe that's why I went to Gretsch, because that and the fact that, you know, I'm a big rockabilly guy.
Right. I always thought that's why you went to Gretsch, is because you're.
No, I mean, it is.
They're gorgeous guitars.
They are.
They really
They're
are.
absolutely gorgeous. But, you know, Epiphone makes the Wildcat.
I know.
And that thing, or is it Casino? Who makes Casino? That's Epiphone, isn't it?
I can't remember. Is the Casino? Is that the ES335 looking?
Dude, if you start rambling out fucking numbers like that, I have no idea.
I think that's the ES335 looking thing.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
The PH4 69.
Yeah, oh yeah.
69er. Sorry.
But is there enough torque in that?
It's got plenty of compression.
Okay.
And yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
God. Yeah. See, when he started talking, we were talking about doing this, instantly my head went, I'm dumb. I know body styles. I know some names of guitars. But, dude, you can ramble off SJ42s and all that other jazz. And when you do that, I want you to, honestly, I want you to look me in my face.
Okay.
When you say a fucking number to me, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay.
Like, I go home and I look up whatever the fuck this is. And then I'm like, oh, the hummingbird. You know what I mean?
I honestly don't know that much. I know what I like, and I know what I've owned, and I know what some of my friends have owned, and like I still discover things I should have known 10 fucking 20 years ago. But especially when it comes to amps, like I know like tube amps are fucking loud. Get one of those.
Yeah.
If you can. But
wait, what's the difference between that and solid state?
well, we'll get to that.
Okay,
And
never
I'm
mind.
glad you asked that question. But I just want to say, since we're on guitars for just one more second,
Okay.
you're not going to like Epiphone and like if you're a Fender guy, just get the fucking Squire. Just get the Squire.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. You a lot of people think that you need the best guitar possible to play
don't.
live. You really don't. You get away with so much live, and I think nowadays you can even really get away with a lot in recording. And those guitars are still 9 times out of 10 quality. Every once in a while you get a shit one.
Yeah.
That's just, but I mean,
But I think
typically,
they've made so much fucking leaps and bounds making those things, though.
yeah. And I mean, it's a whole thing. Don't be afraid, and don't worry if someone's going to look at you and go, "Oh, you're playing an Epiphone." Dude, I've got several Gibsons. I've got my Gretsch. I've got nice guitars. And what fucking guitar did I try to play at the last show before it got stolen by the other band?
Motherfucking Delray. It didn't get stolen.
It disappeared for a minute.
For a day.
For a whole day. I didn't have it at the show. So we're at the show. And the first band, they had some members of the band that wasn't 21, and the bar was just like, you know what, you can play, but you got to play first, and then you got to get out. And I understand where they're coming from on that. We could get into all that.
It was
but
actually pretty cool that they even let
him play, and that's fine. But they had a whole bunch of people with them that were helping them pack up shit real fast. They could get out.
Yeah.
And my guitar apparently ended up
with them.
Right. So when we go to play a little while later, I'm like, I'm set up, ready to go. I'm like, where's my fucking
What's
guitar?
my guitar?
I end up playing Mark's fucking.
I don't even know what it is.
I think it's like a
Kramer.
PRS something. You know
Is
me.
it?
Yeah, you know me. I'm anti PRS, but that thing was fine. It's because they are really great. I mean, people ask me all the time, "You don't like
They're
PRS?"
metal.
No, PRS is. I mean, fucking Santana plays PRS.
Does he?
Yeah,
What the fuck am I thinking? What's the metal guitar?
LTD.
Ah, there it is.
ESP, LTD.
See, that's my guitar knowledge.
Yeah. There's something pretentious about the PRSs I don't like. And people are like, oh, you don't like them, but you like Gibson. I'm like, I get that Gibsons are a little pretentious too, but
yes,
not as bad. And I own way more Epiphones than I own Gibsons. So
Right.
I think I'm up to 6 Epiphones
I was
now.
going to say, I think I have 4 guitars and 3 of them are Epiphones.
Epiphone. Yeah.
Look, man, because if you're going to buy a guitar, I go by looks first.
You gotta love it.
Yeah.
You gotta imagine it hanging on your wall at home.
Right. Nice little wall hanger.
Yeah.
And then I'll kind of go into and this, I always call you before I'm like, hey, I'm thinking about buying this one. Because I need to know, I don't know the mechanics of it or whatever. To me, I just love the way guitars look.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
So then I buy like that Pelham Blue Les Paul.
Les Paul, yeah.
Dude, it's gorgeous.
It is. It's absolutely gorgeous.
It plays like a dream. And I'm just like, man, this is so nice.
Yeah.
$400. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and if you watch what you're doing, if you're looking for something used, you could go even cheaper.
Oh,
than that.
yeah.
And that's what's great. And if you like Gretsch, or if you're looking at acoustics, typically those things, like Gretsch, for whatever reason, might cost you $900 new.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, they don't hold their value. So Gretsch that's only a couple years old is going to be $300-$400,
Right?
Or you can go with the Streamliner if you're looking for an Electromatic with a Bigsby or something. Just get the Streamliner. My son has one. It's fucking great.
Yeah,
I love it. I mean, I love it. Nothing wrong with it. It's like I don't know how much the thing cost. It was $400 or $500 new, I think. But the bottom line is just don't let anyone make you feel like, you don't have enough. And I've seen that a lot. I really have
too.
And I used to feel that way, like, because I only owned Epiphones for a long time. But my Del Rey and my Epiphone Les Paul, I have the Korean Les Paul, kind of older, and the Del Rey, of course, is older too. But those things,
I love that Del Rey.
I'd put either one of those guitars. They play like my fucking Les Paul is 22 years old, and it looks brand new. And that thing has been gigged with.
Oh yeah,
for
years.
Yeah, I mean I haven't gigged with it so much in the last 5, 6, 7 years. I end up when I rebuilt my Gibson SG Supreme. That pretty much became the Social Intense guitar because it just did everything. It was made for it. But I always took the Les Paul as a backup, and it was the only thing that would, that would stand up with it,
right?
Where I wouldn't have to make a whole bunch of amp adjustments. But yeah, I mean, you just fucking Gibson Les Paul, or I'm sorry, Epiphone Les Paul.
Yeah. Solid.
Yeah, solid. And the Squires, man. I'm not a Fender guy. I do want to own like a proper like country style Tele at some point.
Okay.
But it's not.
Headstocks.
It's not. I actually they've grown on me over the years.
Well, it's like you showed me that picture of that Kramer, and
I love the Kramer headstocks.
Can't stand it.
They're just like the Gibson Stratocaster, the actual like Strat that looks just like a Fender.
That bent head.
I love that swooped. Yeah.
No. Garbage.
I don't know why I like it, but I do.
Yeah, I mean,
I almost bought a purple Kramer Striker today. Almost. And I still might tomorrow. I talked myself out of it, at least temporarily, so we'll see what happens.
are you going to wait till the wife gets home? Talk to her about it?
I actually already had the conversation with her.
What'd she say?
She said we'll talk about it later. But she's doing her thing right now, and I'm doing my thing right now.
Right.
So
We'll see how. I want to be back. I want to be here whenever she gets back, and whatever it is.
I know.
And then you guys are having that conversation. Man, that'd be good.
Well, I'll tell you, like it's she knows. I mean, you know what stopped me this time? If this would have been 2 months ago, 3 months ago, nothing would have stopped me.
Christmas.
It's Christmas time.
Yeah.
And I mean, I could have put that thing in layaway today.
Right. It's Christmas.
$30.
It's Christmas.
And it would have been there. And through Christmas, I wouldn't have had to pay a dime on it.
Right. That's another, let's talk about that. We're talking about like Zounds and like Sweetwater. Go to your local pawn shop.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I do have to say, I mean, and most people probably experience this as well. Most pawn shops want way more.
Right.
And we have one in our area.
But they can
Circle City Pawn.
You can haggle so much.
Yeah. They're always willing to do that.
Yeah. I mean, get them haggle boots on and go down there and have a conversation with them and see what they can get. I mean, if you're looking at a $200 guitar,
yeah,
if it's going to get in your hands and you're going to play it, do it. I don't care. I remember my first guitar that my mom's friend gave me, Noreen Sullivan. She gave me, I was like 8, 10-ish. Dude, I don't know. I didn't know anything about guitars. I knew way less then because I was a kid. I didn't know what was going on. It was a little acoustic, almost what now I think would be known as a parlor.
I love parlor guitars.
Yeah, the headstock on it was blank, but it had a little rainbow on it.
Oh,
that's all I remember about this thing, and it sat in my room forever because there was no YouTube, there was no like things online because I was born before the internet,
right?
And nobody in the house knew how to play. Yeah. So it kind of just sat there, and I would try to figure it out, and I never did.
Right.
So
what do you do?
Yeah. So it just kind of sat there.
Yeah.
But I was so happy, to get something I had no idea how to use. But yeah, I mean, I don't care if it's named, unnamed, whatever. If you like it, get it.
I have this, and I totally agree, and I'm glad you said that. But I seriously have when I say I have a problem with guitars, I mean that because I don't give a fuck about like I do want to own like a 59 Gibson Les Paul. I don't even care if it's a reissue. At some point, I'm going to spend $8,000-$9,000 and buy one. I'm
sure you will.
You know me. I'm going to do it. I mean, I already know what it costs a month, so. That is, I mean, but I don't need that guitar. It's way down the list. I'm not worried about it. But like when I say I have a problem, I mean that because I remember that feeling I got when I would go to my grandparents' house and Grandpa would let me see his shitty Dixon acoustic guitar. It just looked like heaven.
Right.
It just looked like something unattainable, something that is so beautiful. And it was a shitty fucking Sears or
Brandon Fruit.
Right.
Yeah.
And eventually he gave me that guitar.
Right.
And I still have it. It's actually under a little reconstruction right now. And I think probably the beginning of the next year, I'm going to, I already fixed and put back into service another guitar another acoustic guitar that he had given me later on. But this one I'm spending a little bit more time on doing a little bit more specially because it was my first guitar. But guitars have never stopped feeling that way to me ever.
Okay.
You know how like you get into a relationship and it's like all butterflies and everything for a while, and then 3 or 4 years on the line, you're like, shut up, bitch.
Wow. No, I've never felt that way.
Oh, come
Jeff
on.
Horner.
You just agreed with me a little bit ago when we were having this conversation.
No, I didn't. I did no such thing, sir.
Of course you don't, because we didn't have that conversation, and I don't really feel like
we didn't have that conversation.
We did, but
we did not.
But you get my point.
Yes, I do get your point.
Of course.
Stop trying to get me in fucking trouble, Jeff.
But I mean, the butterflies fade after a little while.
Yeah.
And I'm incredibly lucky where I am, and it's kind of ridiculous to compare the love of guitars to the love of a special lady.
Yes.
But
yes, it is.
Butterflies fade with love, but they've not ever faded for for guitars. They just haven't. I saw that Kramer from across the way. I saw that headstock. I knew exactly what it was from
like a weird fucking
35 feet away, and I was like, I think I want that.
Right. Is someone using a fucking lawnmower
That's
right
what
now?
I thought. I think it's a helicopter.
Can you hear that?
Yeah, I can hear that.
I mean, I was talking to them because we're.
Can they hear that? Can they hear that?
Yeah, I know we can hear it.
That's a mower, right?
That sounds exactly like a lawnmower at like 10 o'clock at night.
The fuck is wrong with people?
I don't know.
This is a decent neighborhood.
Did they get into my cred?
God damn it, bitch! I'm going to cut the grass.
Man, that'd be a weird fucking conversation to have at that house.
Yeah, but I mean, seriously though, like it definitely like. Well, I mean, I talk about just talking about that feeling.
Yeah.
That love, those butterflies with guitars. And some of them are none of them are high dollar guitars. I would never be an elitist who collects high end. Even if I won $100 million in the lottery, I don't give a shit about that. It's there's something different there. Like no, they're really. I mean, like I said, I would definitely if I won a shitload of money, I would definitely own a real 59.
Yeah,
but I'd also own a reissue that I'd actually play.
So the 59 would just be a wall hanger.
It would no. I mean, it'd be something that got played, but I wouldn't let anybody else touch it for anything.
Oh, I get that.
Don't even look at it.
Right.
That kind of situation.
Be in a case.
No, it'd be hanging up, just not.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Just
hanging
keep
up.
your grubby fucking paws off of it.
Oh, okay.
Right.
Well, I mean, that's fine. That's fine. I don't need to touch it.
But I mean, a lot of those guitars, honestly, would be, what would be at least at some point in their existence be considered a shit guitar.
Right.
I love those. I really do.
Yeah.
And some of them are fantastic.
I haven't had a bad Epiphone.
I've had a bad Epiphone. I haven't kept everything I've owned, and I even wish I'd have kept that bad Epiphone.
Right.
I stopped selling guitars probably about 15 years ago. I think the last guitar I sold was my my Ibanez 7-string.
Okay.
Yeah, I had an Ibanez 7, and I loved it.
Did you go through a metal phase?
Oh yeah, of course I did.
Okay.
Wrote a bunch of metal songs, all kinds
All
of shit. And I really wanted to play with one, and I found one. I got a good deal on it.
Yeah.
And I got to the point where I really needed some cash, and my buddy liked it.
There it is.
And I was like, all right, this is easy enough. Fucking, there you go. And I would have survived without selling it. I just wish I wouldn't have, but I did. But yeah, it is what it is. But I mean, moving on from guitars,
Yeah.
just don't be afraid. I can't tell you.
Just get what you want.
Right. I can't tell you much beyond Epiphone and Squire because that's. I mean,
To me, that's the big ones.
that's what I play.
Yeah.
I know that Jackson has some lower end stuff that's still pretty awesome. Jackson has a lot of fucking really good shit that's affordable. They have some crazy high end shit too. But
I don't know much about Jackson.
I mean, you got kids that want to start, people who want to start a metal band or something.
Yeah.
That's a good guitar to go with. You probably can't go wrong with some of their lower end stuff. And I would even Ibanez. Ibanez isn't what they used to be, and I'd say probably the same for Jackson as well. But I think everything's been downhill since the affordable RG series of the Ibanez line from like the 90s, early 2000s.
Oh God!
But
That long?
it's still pretty good. I mean, yeah. No, I mean, they make stuff that's better now, but like,
Okay.
as far as the affordable line goes,
Okay. I see what you're saying.
Right. So maybe, there's several things there. You have several options. You don't need crazy fancy cables. If you go to Guitar Center,
God,
the guitar tech guy, the guitar guy's gonna be like, "Oh man, you need these monster cables that have these crazy impedance or whatever the fuck it is." I don't know.
No, you don't.
You don't need that.
Fucking need them.
You definitely want something with the screw type end.
Yeah,
and learn how to fucking solder and learn how to fix them because they're gonna break.
Yeah, they do.
They break fucking like crazy. Don't replace them. Get some fucking decent solder and a soldering iron for $20-$30 and just fix them over the years. Amps. This is where now. So since we're on the amps, we talked about the difference between solid state
tube. Yeah,
tube amps run on the old vacuum tubes, like people would put in radios and shit back in the day. It's pretty much the same design. I mean, of course, there's been some modifications, but
right.
It's the same process that's been going on since before even like solid state stuff. Unless I'm wrong, I could be wrong on that. I don't know, but it's kind of the old way of doing things. And tube amp powers,
I know it's
brutally more than like if it's overkill.
Loud.
I mean, if you're in a bar with 300 people, that's get 200-300 people in there, and you've got a 100-watt tube amp. You're looking at like 3 on the dial out of 10.
Really?
It's insane. It is overkill. But you can get better tones. Absolutely better. But things are changing rapidly because modeling amps, solid state modeling amps have come so far. 10 years ago, I'd say if you want a great sound, you got to go tube.
Are you changing your mind on that?
Well, Kemper kind of changed everything, but those amps
I was going to mention Kemper, but they're crazy expensive.
Yeah. But like Line 6 has done some great things. Marshall has some pretty good modeling amps. I don't know. I'm kind of meant to go look up I don't remember.
Okay. Now, when you say modeling amp, are you talking amps that can emulate other? Okay, cool.
And they sound like tube amps.
Right.
You can say, make this, I want you, Mr. Line 6 amp, to sound like a Mesa.
Okay.
And there's a setting for that or a knob.
That's a cool fucking thing.
The PV Viper does that really well too.
Okay.
I know the older one does anyway. Someone told me there's a difference in and I think it's the PV Viper 3 or 4 or whatever. And maybe it's not as good. I don't know. But our buddy Jerry, he has the PV Viper, fucking loves it. He's recorded with that and been like, he also had 6505 PV head and was like, tell me the difference between my high end, higher end PV head and this lower end solid state head modeling amp or whatever. And a lot of people couldn't tell the difference. They just couldn't in a recording anyway.
That's pretty fucking remarkable.
Yeah, it's pretty epic. And then you have like people even bringing up Jerry Allen. He's kind of gotten to the point where now I could be wrong, and Jerry, if I am, you can feel free to correct me, but I think a lot of times when he jams just at home by himself, he'll just open up, Cubase, his little DAW, and put in a plug-in.
Right.
And say, sound like this tube amp, sound like this. Do his own little tweaks to it. And just, I know he has his own presets and settings.
Yeah.
And it sounds amazing. I've heard him do it. I don't know if that's what he always does. I know he's got like a nice Hughes and Kettner amp, which those are fucking badass. He's got my old fucking Avatar, that 212 fucking cabinet that just rocks. That thing, I would buy that back from him in a minute. I needed a 412 cabinet because I needed to get my speakers off the floor for shows. And I made that deal with them. I took and the cabinet's loaded with good speakers and everything. It's a fine cabinet, but there's just that oversized Avatar 212 cabinet kicks ass. It just, everyone who's ever plugged into it loves it. I'm gonna have to get me one of these days again. But yeah, I mean,
So which one of those is on the cheaper end? Is it the tube amps or the solid state?
the solid states are cheaper.
Is there any pros to using a solid state?
Well, I mean, the tube amps are delicate. You know, if you slam them around, they get moved, they get jostled a lot.
Busted.
You could fuck some shit up in
Right.
there. I mean, you know, any electronics that's possible.
Yeah.
But it's a lot less likely with the solid state amp when there's no vacuum tubes inside. Solids or tube amps, you know, you do have to change those tubes. My Mesa's got it takes 9, I think.
Good God.
4 12AX7s and 4 what do I got in it right now?
Come on, spit some fucking numbers so I can go home and research it.
Well, there's a difference between preamp tubes and then the actual power tubes.
Cool, man.
So, but I mean, but the Mesa's, you know, it's a little bit more extreme. I don't know. I mean, I think tube amp is where you should be aspiring to if you're a gigging musician. But maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong because, like I said, the way modeling amps are going, Kemper may be where you want to aspire to nowadays.
But that's real expensive. Are they not?
It is, but I mean, it just depends on what you need. I mean, if you want something that sounds exactly the same, I think you're going to get a little bit more consistency out of a Kemper.
Now, okay, you're starting a band.
Oh, you're starting a band and you're
Starting a band. Would you go straight into a Kemper?
not unless I'm
Rich?
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, basically, yeah. If I'm young, or maybe haven't done it in a while, and I'm like, you know, who knows if this is going to last or
Right.
not. And that's probably more who we should aim this toward is
Yeah.
people who maybe have played for 20 years, but they're thinking maybe I want to start a band again.
Yeah.
But who knows? Do I really want to spend a shitload of money and get to get it off the ground and then it all fall apart? So basically, no, you don't start there. You do. I would definitely say the PV. It depends on what you're playing. If you're playing metal, go with the PV Viper.
Well, obviously, you know.
There's a 212 version. It's going to be half the price of like a 5150.
Yeah.
Or something like that, if I'm not mistaken. A Line 6, I used to have a Line 6 amp. And this was well over 20 years ago. And in the bedroom, it sounds fucking fantastic. But it just got really thin sounding at gigs.
I kind of figured, you know, if when you're out in a bigger environment,
Right.
it would kind of lose some
Yeah.
shit.
It just didn't have the, like you'd hear it in the bedroom and go, that motherfucker. That's let's take that and go do it. And I melted 2 of them. I melted I melted mine and a buddy's, I think in the same night, actually.
Nice.
That's another story if you ever want to hear that. But sorry, Peck. But I know they've come a long way.
Right.
And I know Line 6, for years I trashed Line 6.
You have.
But I've been reading a lot. I've been talking to a lot of other musicians, and I've seen some people on the local level anyways using Line 6, and I'm like, I see it sitting there before the show starts, and then I stick my nose in the air and go, this is going to be shitty. And I'm like, fuck. No shit, really? They're doing that now? I don't know. Maybe it's
the fucking
What the
lawnmower's
fuck is
killing
that?
me, dude.
that's a person in an automobile.
Are they still in my car?
I maybe probably just your rims. Don't worry.
I don't care about my rims.
Well, I don't know how you're getting home. I guess you live here now. Baby, I ain't got no rims.
Wow.
Maybe if we just ignore it, it'll go away.
Oh my God, and it did go away.
Just have faith, right? But yeah, I mean, I don't know if like, maybe some of those things on Line 6 have gotten crazy expensive. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys look into that. But I do think that solid state these days is a pretty safe bet.
Okay.
I know years ago, everything I ever saw was from Line 6 or from that was solid
Solid
state.
state.
at a gig just did not do it. You'd swear at band practice it would be fine. And then you go to a show and there'd be bodies there and other things to get over, and they just didn't have the extra oomph to get you over the top. You don't have that problem with a tube amp at all. I've never played a gig. And I mean, I'm nobody, but I mean, we've played there's been shows that we've, at least I've played in front of a shitload of people in giant fucking places, and they really didn't even need to do much miking except for, getting me some monitors or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that like just my Marshall, my shitty. I have, I get a lot of shit because you have the Marshall, the JCM 900 guys, and then you have the JCM 800 guys, and I'm over here. Hey guys, I got a JCM 2000, and they both just look at me and they're like, "Fuck off," I'm not welcome in their conversation,
right?
So, but I love my 2000. I actually, I think, didn't Matt had one back in the day? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I think so.
And I always thought his guitar tone was awesome. I actually own his fucking cab, his Marshall. He has the 900 cab, and he did. I have it now. Maybe he had the 900 head too. I was thinking he had the 2000. I need to ask him.
Hey, Matt.
Did you have the 900
or the 2000?
I know at one point I think he did have a 900, and then he ended up with a 2000. I don't even know how he liked it. I know like there are some people who are like 2000's great, and then other people are like 2000's bad. I mean, it's like it's a toss up. But everyone who loves 800s and 900s fucking hates the 2000s. So,
why?
I don't know. To me, I feel like it's kind of the best of both worlds. My fucking 2000s, it can be absolutely, utterly beautiful and gorgeous, clean and pristine and pretty. But you got to know how to make your adjustments.
Right.
And it's probably going to take a pedal or two, like pretty much everything does.
I was going to say, I don't know any rock musician or what. I say rock, but, if you're going to run distortion and stuff like that, I don't know anybody who doesn't use a fucking pedal.
Everybody's using something for the most part.
Compressors or whatever.
Now, is it like orange rocker verb beautiful? Probably. No, it's not. It's not.
I love orange. I do.
I'm not the biggest orange guy in the world, but man, I've experienced those beautiful clean tones, and they are amazing. But it can hold its own.
Right.
It's
okay.
The orange is going to be better, but you can still do some pretty good stuff with the 2000. But as far as metal and brutality goes, it can do anything. I've had it do crazy shit, and the harmonics and the umph, it never lacks. So, but again, there's going to be some 800-900 guys on here, hopefully anyway, if we have enough followers. Hopefully at some point someone can, give their opinion, what they like. I don't know. I would love if I won the lottery tomorrow, the day after that or that evening, there would be an 800 and a 900 sitting here.
Okay.
I mean, I would fucking all right, we need some Marshalls, I've only got the one, so
might as well get more.
Yeah. But yeah, there'd be a lot of Marshalls. And there's a lot of cool amps. Amps, though, they tend to be really, really pricey, especially when you start getting into tube amps. So, I mean, if it's a matter of wattage, a lot of people think they need 100 watts to play a bar type show, 300-400 seat venue. 50 watts. 50 will do you on a tube. I mean, in even smaller venues, I mean, probably, depending on what you're playing, you could get away with 30 watts, 20 watts. I mean, if it's...
But 50 seems to be well-rounded.
And I really feel like when you get over a 300, 400 person marker, you're definitely mic'd anyway. Right. So it really doesn't matter that much. So you could pretty much do anything with 50 watts. 100 watts is overkill. Really. It's...
Unless you're playing, a fucking stadium?
Even then, you're playing through the house.
I mean, yeah, I was gonna say
Right.
there's. So if you're buying an amp, 50 watts should get everything you need.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I've never ran across the time hell, half the shows when I use my Mesa, I use it on the 50 watt setting.
Right.
So, which is running 2 amps or 2 tubes instead of 4.
What's the numbers on those tubes?
50, 60K, 1,000 million. No, but like we need to move on here because this is important too, and we are pushing, we're pushing things here, but something often overlooked when it comes to playing music, especially it's definitely when you're playing in a band. Okay, if you're gonna play at home in your garage or in your bedroom or whatever, fuck it. This part doesn't matter.
Oh, I think I know where you're going with this, and I completely agree with you.
But if you're going to gig, and let's say you're young and you're just starting out and you don't have a lot of money, or you are a young adult or middle aged or whatever the fuck, it doesn't matter how old you are. The fucking minivan.
See, minivans are good. Get a church bus. Take a row of seats out.
Here's the only problem with that. Now, if you're going to go on tour, if you're in a band and you're like you're going to go on tour, of course they all use church buses. Everybody gets a church bus. I even kind of had a church bus for a minute with my old band. And
I don't think we had a church. Did we have a church? I know we had a van, and that van was amazing. Built lofts in it.
Yeah, it was a van.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a church bus.
okay.
It may not have been an actual church
No,
bus.
I say that because
It wasn't the
just
15
style of
passenger.
seating.
Yours was like a 12 passenger, I think.
I don't remember. I just remember some weird nights in that thing.
Well, because they used it and they did some extra work to it after
Yeah.
you went to Texas
Oh, really?
or
No,
some,
this is before.
No, I'm saying no. They did some extra stuff, I think, and it was like it ended up being black and blue. And for the band,
What?
the band they started, and I'm pretty sure it was the same band. The band that
Oh, I'm sure it was the
all
same
those
band.
guys
Yeah,
started before the fall.
yeah.
After the Shavers ended, they started that band before the fall, and I remember that because somebody in the band had come up to me, and we always I got to that point where I was like, we just gave everybody shit, and they
Yeah.
that became just the MO for everybody. And we played a lot of shows before the fall, and I remember we played this show, and they come up and they had the van, and it was all freshly redone or whatever, and it was if I'm not mistaken, it was blue on the out. It was like a blue van, but it was black on the end. Like they covered everything in black, all the like whatever they did.
Oh, that's so gorgeous.
And it was like, yeah, it's no, it was opposite. It was black on the outside and blue on the inside, something like whatever it was.
I gotcha.
And they were, whoever it was telling me, and I was like, yeah, it's black on the outside, but it's blue on the inside. And I was like, oh, just like your band.
Oh, sad.
I know, man, right? But it was all in good fun, and they like to dig on us too. But that one I felt a little like, oh shit,
Right.
That might have been too far. So that's why it sticks out to me. But those fucking guys were, amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, totally, yeah. Those are some good times. We had some really fucking good times.
I
But
was in Texas.
yeah. But I do want to say again, the minivan is your best bet. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I will say, definitely get something, because there's nothing worse than trying to pack everything in a fucking Chevette.
If you're going to go on tour, right? If you're going to go on tour, yeah, definitely start looking at old church buses and stuff like that for sure.
But just even local, get a minivan. Don't worry about trying to look cool in a Camaro.
Right. That's just, if you're a young parent, mom or dad, and you're like, there might be a possibility of a band in your future.
Oh, and if you're okay with it,
Well, yeah,
yes.
get the van, get the minivan. It'll help you with your children. It'll help you with all that stuff. And then when it's time, this is exactly what I've done for
Yeah.
20 years. Like, we have all these kids, We need a minivan. So I've had like 6 in 20 years. But you know what? Like our old minivan, when Social Intents was playing a whole lot, like it was mostly used
as that
for Social Intents.
right. And you could Tetris all that stuff.
Oh
in
my
there.
God. Yeah, I'm the best at that shit. Maybe not quickly. There's probably people who can do it faster than me.
Yeah, but I'll tell you right now, there's not an inch of space that's unused.
No. And if you get definitely some
I couldn't fucking do that.
I
My
mean,
shit would look horrible.
where there's a will, there's a way.
But I can wrap chords.
Yeah, you can. I'm still garbage at that. But we packed for a Social Intent show for a 2-hour away gig. We packed our entire band. Of course, we didn't have to take a PA system, but our entire band. I had a Dodge Grand Caravan with the stow and go, so it all laid flat. Stow and go is kind of key here too. If you have a regular minivan or an older minivan that doesn't do that, it's probably not going to help you all that much. But I see all these young people are like, I need an SUV because I don't want to look like a soccer mom. And I'm like, newsflash.
You'll be fine.
Newsflash. SUVs are what everyone knows.
That is the modern day.
That's a soccer mom. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm over here trying to open this bottle. So I'm having complications.
But anyway. Yeah, you got it?
Yeah. I was trying to be discreet about it, and I just knew that shit wasn't going to happen.
I just think it's funny when people are like, no, I can't do a minivan. I got to have an SUV.
Yeah.
I have an image to uphold. And I'm like, you're not fooling anybody.
No.
It's a station wagon on a truck frame. But anyway, and that's not going to help you. They have
Get the minivan.
Right.
Just get it.
Well, even the big SUVs, like the big, like the Tahoes and the Suburbans, maybe a Suburban, but I don't know, definitely not a Tahoe. You think, okay, they're bigger. They're bigger than a minivan. They're going to have more room. They don't. They just don't.
It's like a short bed truck.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's not going to help you.
No.
Just get the fucking minivan. Don't be a pussy. Get the minivan and use it for your band. And when your wife says she's got to take the kids to their doctor's appointment, tell her you got rock and roll to fucking do.
Oh, I went a completely
or your
different
husband.
route.
Because there's a lot of cool rock and roll chicks out there.
Then where you're going with that? So
I don't know.
I feel bad.
You did clap and it's something you shouldn't have clapped at.
Yeah, well, because I thought we were on the same page, when you said that, but then you went left, I went right.
Yeah.
Shocker.
But there is definitely something to be said for that. So
yeah,
just do what you got to do. I don't know if you don't have the confidence to drive around a minivan, dude. I came home from work a little bit ago and I hit a red light and I just come off the highway and I was fucking jamming to some Alexis on Fire. I always called him Alex is on Fire because it's just funny because my son is named Alex. And it's all spelled as one word, so
which does seem, a little
Alexis on fire.
Yeah.
Alex is on fire.
Huh.
Okay. I'm not even honestly to this fucking day. I'm not even sure which way it actually is, but they're fucking awesome. And I hadn't listened to them in a while. I was jamming on it, and I was fucking singing along, coming to a red light, and I was like, oh fuck. I don't like. When I was younger, I didn't care to be that guy.
Right.
But now I'm like, I don't want people looking at me going, what's that old fuck over there doing?
See, I'm different.
I never cared for years, but now I'm just like, I just don't want people. I don't want people looking at me. I don't want them to, and I will quietly just slide right past everybody and be and that's what I want to do.
I mean, if you see me in my car at a red light, and there's a good chance that Taylor Swift's gonna be fucking blaring out of it. You know what I mean? Seriously. I ain't gonna lie. Blank Space comes on. Shit, it's over, son.
Come on, girl.
I get nuts, dude. But then again, I'll also do the same thing when because obviously Cannibal Corpse isn't gonna be playing on the radio.
No.
So like on my my playlist or whatever, that's the level that I do, and it's just I don't care. If I'm in that moment, I'm in that moment. I
get you. I totally get that. Well, we're running pretty hot here, and there's a couple things I want to get to before we're done.
Okay.
And I know, but I do want to say before we move on, I've seen you in traffic, and I know what you look like, and to me, I'm like, look, that's majestic. You know?
Yeah.
I look.
I'm a
like,
fucking unicorn.
I think you look gorgeous out there, and the sun hitting you, and you're just fucking. It's
not caring.
10:30 in the morning, and you're just fucking kill. You know.
Nice to meet you where you been. You know what I mean? Yeah, I will do it.
Yeah, and I love it. But I'm me, you know, and we live in a pretty, let's just say it nicely,
conservative.
Pretty conservative. There you go. That's a nice way of saying it's.
I can show you
not pleasant
things. Sorry, now I got fucking stuck in my head.
I do love where we're from. There are some really great people, but there is a heavy majority that very judgmental, very backwards, and like oh my God. So
look like my next mistake.
But I want to say real quick, through watching TikTok, so I do that a lot now, and I'm all over our TikTok.
I'm glad you are because I am not.
No, I want to talk. I mean, and there's a lot to talk about. We're not going to get to all of it tonight, but I want to start doing this a little bit more often. But if you guys aren't keeping an eye on the scoffs, you really should be, because those guys, they're just everywhere.
Yeah,
they're
always doing something.
Yeah, and they have a drive in them that I kind of envy. I really do. I wish I remember having that at one point. And at one point, we had that. And I know Social Intense is a way different kind of band.
Yeah.
We never would have been like a touring. We were never going to go like play in all the punk clubs or anything.
We wanted to be a wedding band.
We wanted to be a wedding band.
Yeah.
And I thought that was fucking hilarious. But in my own mind, I thought that we can probably do that.
Right.
Wrong.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, I mean, we just never could get the lineup.
Yeah.
With everybody
the stars didn't align.
Right. But those guys are just nonstop, and I really dig them, and they're really fun to watch. I really enjoy that. Go check out the Scoffs. You'll be happy you did, even if you're not really into that kind of punk rocky music.
They're just good dudes.
Yeah, they are. The Pocket Bandits, are lovely super jazz band.
Oh my God! You brought back super jazz.
Super jazz. Having them on was, and these are
some of the bands that we've actually talked to.
Most of these that I'm going to talk about now are, but not all. But they have a new single coming out soon, so check that out.
Yep.
Go check them out on TikTok. Go check out all these bands on TikTok, and Instagram or whatever else you got. But they actually have I think it's their first full album coming up soon.
Really?
Yes. So I'm excited about that. Those guys are fantastic.
Oh God, they're so good.
They really are.
It's ridiculous how talented these guys are.
If you would have described their music to me, I'd have been like, I probably won't like that.
Man, they are so fucking good though.
They really are. And I mean, it's just interesting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, check them out.
Super jazz.
I get like anything we're talking about, like not everything's going to, not everything's going to be
up everyone's fucking alley. I get it.
But I think that,
definitely worth a listen.
And definitely deserves support.
Yeah.
Definitely deserves a like or just a heart on something. Like that's cool. People are doing what they love, and there's really something to be said
when you're
about
editing
that.
these videos. If I touch the I guess it'd be like right here, boop or boop. Can you make a heart come up and do that kind of animation?
If I'm feeling good enough.
No,
we'll
I know
see.
you will, baby.
Inhuman Hands.
Yes.
I listen to these guys at least once a week. At least.
Yeah.
They are kind of one of my new favorite bands. It's really hard to find good metal in that, that genre that seems genuine and honest and
right.
And it isn't like, I hate to sound like this, but isn't about something stupid.
Okay. There's
some deep shit there. You know what I mean? It's well thought out. It's well arranged.
So, I don't want to say the word melodic, but I think that it is when I hear it.
Oh yeah, it is totally.
And I'm just like, man, that's Hoyt.
Yeah. I fucking love Inhuman Hands. I really do. Vienna, all still doing it. They're all over TikTok. Anytime anything pops up, I don't even wait. Psh, love.
Yeah, because you know you're going to.
Yeah, I know I'm going to. I know. I love those kids.
Yeah.
I really do.
I love those kids.
They are. Those are babies, man.
They are babies,
Yeah.
but I mean, to us, they are.
They are. They're babies.
But yeah, they're if you like that emo sound or whatever, then definitely get in with them.
Yeah.
because they're rock solid.
They really are.
I'm a big fan.
And they're just having a blast.
Yeah.
I everything they do, like they'll post these little pictures with music behind it, and like if you like this,
right?
You know,
I've seen a couple
Yeah.
of those. Yeah.
it's like this epic picture of them all sitting on a couch or something, some
Right.
dingy couch, or I don't know what the fuck it is, but
Most of the pictures look like they could be album covers.
yeah, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think I don't know if that's the direction, but that's the way I took it.
Right.
But maybe it's not. Maybe they're just like, hey, check these fucking pictures.
So good.
And they all look like like you
So
said,
good.
album covers.
Yeah.
And the last thing I want to talk about, the last band, and we know we're going to take a break somewhere around Christmas time, New
Well,
Year.
yeah, family.
We haven't really figured all that out. And we'll start up again sometime around the same time that we started the show. And
When was that?
like April-ish, late March, early
Okay.
April. So once we got several more shows to go, and then we're going to take a break. But when we come back, we may not have our big announcement before. We may not. I mean, we had our meeting last night. Things are going great.
Going well.
We are definitely on track, but it might be a little longer
Right.
than we anticipated, which is fine.
Yeah.
Because we're not in a giant hurry.
We're doing it right.
Right. But when we come back, we will definitely, I mean, if we can't have our announcement before the end of this season, if you will, it'll definitely be by the first thing we talk about when we come back. But also when we come back, I want to talk to the local-ish band, the Fliplighters.
Oh man, they're so fun.
We've played with them a couple times now. We played with them with our original band, the Late Parlor Ruckus.
Right.
And we played with them with Social Intents at the Halloween show. God, they're so fucking good.
They are.
And they even stole my fucking guitar.
Yeah, they're the ones.
And I still want them on my show.
Right.
Yeah. They're entertaining. There's so much emotion and like energy in their shows.
Yeah. Are we gonna have them actually in house?
I want to have them in house. I think we're going to be ready by then.
And then I want them to steal something from the show.
Oh, fuck. Don't start that. I'm still poor.
But yeah, I mean they are very like energetic and just solid.
Yeah. And I know they're on everything too. So go check them out. Go check out the Fliplighters. They're from Ironton. Yeah. Ironton, Ohio. And those guys they've already been on tour.
I was gonna say thanks for saying Ohio because I just think that everyone's from Ohio apparently.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pretty much everybody listening is.
Right.
But I mean, these are younger kids, late teens, early 20s, and they're touring, they're writing, they're recording,
Just doing it.
they're playing every show they can,
Fucking doing it.
and they invited us to play the house party for somebody else's house. Ironic. These guys are so fucking punk rock. They're just
whenever we get over this, we done with the show or whatever, we need to figure that out because I know that we're going to do it, but I have no idea when or all that jazz. So we'll just do that shit off camera.
the Late Parlor Ruckus, our original band, is going to play with the Fliplighters at the actually the further along house party on December 28th. We're gonna go there. We're gonna go there and play at the house party. How long has it been? Man, I am spitting all over the place tonight. How long has it been since you played a house party?
30, 35 years?
We're gonna do it. We're gonna be.
I won't say 30 years because I'm 48 now.
Right. We're going to be mid to late 40s people playing with
Why are we doing this to ourselves?
I'm a glutton for punishment
Why the fuck are you bringing me with you?
because I like to punish you.
Okay. Because I'm an enabler.
This is going to be a fucking great night. This is going to be fun. And this isn't just, those people. You know these people. This isn't going to be like.
I mean, they're all our friends.
Right.
So.
This isn't going to be random. Like, we don't know where we're at, officer. Like, no one's bothering us here. This place is pretty epic. It's going to be a good night. It's going to be a fun night. I mean, potentially,
We know I do like to wander off sometimes.
I know. But let's fucking end this show. Go have some beers and catch everybody next week. And if you have any questions, you have anything you want to talk about, all the gear we've talked about, hit us up or add it in the comments or whatever you want to do.
We didn't get to like bases, and I guess the same premise would apply.
It really would.
Yeah.
It does. It really does. Fender, Squire basses. Go get those.
Right.
There you go.
Oh, I guess we covered bases. I guess. Sorry, bass players.
We can dig in more later. We can. But as for now, got a good start. And if you have any questions,
let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Okay?
All right. Jeff, you know what time it is? Tinkle time.
It's tinkle time.
Tinkle time.
The Horner House. Man.
Are we not done here?
Man, I'm about to piss down my leg.
Yeah, I was going to say, can we be done with this?
I'm shutting everything down right now.
All right.
I'm putting all my shit up. And then I'm going to have to hold on to it the whole time. Are you okay with watching a grown man like squeal and hold his member?
How did you get to know my specific kink?
All right, maybe I read your diary.
Yeah.
All right. But, so this is what's going to happen, okay?
So you read my diary?
Well, back when we used to do the show at your house.
That's weird because I don't have a diary.